The prison yard fell silent the moment the old man picked himself up from the ground. Blood trickled from his lip. His hands trembled slightly, and the gang leader laughed, until the old man's eyes changed. In that instant, something ancient and unstoppable surfaced. Nobody watching realized they were about to witness a lesson, not just in fighting, but in humility, discipline, and the quiet power of restraint. What happened next would permanently change the balance of power inside those walls, and leave every man there questioning what true strength really means. When the gates of Iron Ridge Prison slammed shut behind Liang Chen, no one noticed. That was exactly how he wanted it. At 62, with graying hair, a slightly bent posture, and a calm, almost tired expression, he looked like someone who would disappear into the background. Another forgotten old man, serving time quietly until the end. The guards barely glanced at him. The inmates certainly didn't care. In Iron Ridge, respect was earned through fear, and fear came from violence. The yard belonged to Marcus, Redjaw, Kane. A towering man in his late 30s, muscles hardened by years of fighting and dominance. Marcus ruled one of the most brutal prison gangs, and everyone knew the rules: look weak, and you'd be broken. Liang's first mistake, at least in the eyes of the inmates, was keeping his head down. On his first day in the yard, Marcus noticed him immediately, not because Liang did anything wrong, but because he did nothing at all. No posturing, no alliances, no eye contact. To Marcus, that calm wasn't humility. It was disrespect. "Hey, old man," Marcus called out, stepping into Liang's path. "You lost, or you just stupid." Liang looked up slowly, his eyes gentle. "I'm just walking," he said softly. Laughter rippled through the yard. Marcus smiled, the kind of smile that had ended many men's confidence. He shoved Liang hard. The old man fell, scraping his hands on the concrete. "Learn where you belong," Marcus said. Liang didn't fight back. He didn't even glare. He simply stood, dusted himself off, and walked away. That sealed his fate. Over the next few days, the bullying escalated. His food tray was knocked away. His bed was vandalized. He was shoved, mocked, and humiliated. Other inmates watched, some with pity, others with relief it wasn't them. But Liang never reacted with anger. At night, alone in his cell, he stood quietly, practicing movements so small they were almost invisible. His hands flowed through the air with precision. His breathing was steady, controlled. Each motion carried decades of discipline. Wing Chun was not about power. It was about efficiency, timing, and calm under pressure. Liang had spent 45 years mastering it. He had promised himself he would never use it again. But Marcus didn't know that. On the 7th day, Marcus decided to make an example of him. Publicly. In the yard, surrounded by inmates, Marcus struck Liang across the face and shoved him to the ground. "Say it," Marcus demanded. "Say you're weak." Liang lay there, stunned. His breath came sharp. His hands trembled, not with fear, but with a memory he had buried long ago. Slowly, he stood, and for the first time since entering Iron Ridge, Liang Chen looked directly at his enemy. "Enough," Liang said, not loudly, not angrily, but firmly. Marcus laughed. "You hear that?" Grandpa found his voice. He swung. What happened next unfolded so fast that most men didn't understand it until it was over. Liang stepped inside the punch, not away from it. His hands moved in sharp, precise lines, deflecting, striking, controlling. Wing Chun was designed for close combat, and Marcus had unknowingly stepped into its perfect range. A strike to the throat, controlled, not lethal. A rapid series of blows to the chest, each one cutting off breath. A joint lock that dropped Marcus to his knees. The yard froze. Marcus tried to stand, but Liang's foot pinned him effortlessly. "I don't want to hurt you," Liang said quietly. "But I will not be broken." In seconds, the feared gang leader was on the ground gasping, powerless. No cheers erupted. No one laughed. The silence was heavier than any noise. Liang stepped back and helped Marcus up, something no one expected. "Strength without discipline becomes cruelty," he said. "And cruelty always loses." From that day on, everything changed. Marcus didn't challenge him again. In fact, he avoided him. The gang lost its grip as whispers spread. The old man wasn't weak. He was restrained. Other inmates began coming to Liang quietly, asking for guidance. Not just in fighting, but in controlling anger, surviving without becoming monsters themselves. Liang taught them patience, balance, respect. When his sentence ended years later, the yard stood silent again as he walked out, but this time, not because of fear, because of honor. And as the gates closed behind him, one truth remained carved into every man who witnessed it. True power doesn't shout. True strength doesn't bully. And the greatest warriors are often the ones who choose peace, until they have no other choice. Female message: never underestimate quiet people. Some are quiet because they're broken. But some are quiet because they've already mastered the storm inside them.